All right, so we got this piece welded in here. We had to fill that in. Metal's kind of thin down there. It kind of blew through there, but like I said, none of it's going to be seen. Plus, this will all be urethane body seam sealer in here to seal it. And then it'll have a couple plug welds like we did on the other side. So it's not going to go anywhere and it's not going to get water in it. So got to treat all this stuff still. Next, what we're going to do is we are going to fit this quarter panel and hopefully get that fit into today. Like I said, I'm going to cut it about 2 inches up higher. Try to get away from this curve, but still, it's not a great place to seam it. I wish I had a full quarter that was all the way up, but I don't, and they're like 800 bucks and then another like $200 to ship. It's ridiculous. So we're going to make do with what we got. We'll get this fit onto there. Then we'll sand this down to bare metal inside and outside. We'll paint the inside. And then we'll hopefully get it tacked on today. That's our plan. So, but plans change. So we'll see what happens. And we'll pick you up once we get it fit. All right, just wanted to show you. I've been messing with this quarter panel for about a half hour, 40 minutes. I showed you how I was going to seam it here. So this here maybe can go up another 1/4 inch, maybe. Of course, can't get it there. But then you look over here, look, you got about maybe a 1/4 inch there and a 1/2 inch there. And look at the door. That's aftermarket parts. It's just unbelievable. It just literally doesn't fit. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, buts. It just is challenging. We'll get it on there for sure, but you know, it's very frustrating, you know.
Oh, come on!
So, and I think they're Chinese quarters, I don't know. And the factory ones, I believe, are 16 or 17 gauge, and these are like 18 or 19, so they're a little bit thinner. I mean, not horrible, but, and like I said, once I paint everything, get everything, you know, you'll never notice it, but it's just amazing how crappy the dies are when they punch these out. I got to try to get this up a little bit more. I guess I'm going to have to bend that down to try to lift this up. That actually is not supposed to be that high. It is supposed to be right where that line is. So I don't know. It's all good in the wheel well. You can see it's tight in the wheel well. See, it's up against the wheelhouse. I mean, there's a few imperfections on the wheelhouse where I bent it, but it's like it can't go up any further there. And then the front of it has to go down a 1/2 inch. So what I'm going to have to do is raise this end up as high as I possibly can without it getting, you know, it has to have this angle under the quarter panel. Get this tight, and then I'm going to have to probably rebend this to fit. Oh, look, we got help today. You finally came out to help? You were hanging with Grandma, huh? You going to help me? So Graham's going to help fit everything. With his help, hopefully we can get it done. And we'll show you. It might be a few hours, but we'll get it in there. All right, so about a half hour took. It wasn't too bad. I got it fit, got it tight down there. Got a self-tapper there. Like I said, that's what you do to hold it. You know, people use Clecos, they use all kinds of different things. It doesn't matter what you use, you're gonna weld the hole in anyway. So we got it clamped all around the edge here. It was really, really tight. What I ended up doing was, maybe the wheel well was out of shape, I don't know. I banged it in a little more and I was able to tweak it. I thought I was gonna have to slice it here and kind of bend it, but I was able to tweak it enough where it's tight there. This has to be fit, but it's tight there. The body line seems to be right. As you can see, there is a little bump there, but this is getting cut. We're gonna make a cut now. We're gonna scribe a line here, cut through both panels, and once we get both and then we can basically weld it in, because like I said, we are gonna butt weld. So I still gotta, as you can see, I had to bend that open, but I'm gonna probably cut it right above this screw anyway. So I don't think it's gonna be an issue, but we'll see what happens. So we're gonna scribe a mark now and take our cutoff wheel. We'll put a fresh wheel in it and cut this quarter panel so these can be butt welded. And what we'll do, like I said, we'll leave it clamped on here for now. And then once our cuts are done, then we can figure out exactly where and how it's gonna go. So, but then we know this is where it's gotta be. And like I said, once we take these screws out, the screw holes will let us know exactly where it has to be. And every time I talk, we get help. Now you're coming to help, huh? You weren't helping when I was banging and everything, huh? All right, we'll show you once we get it cut. So the quarter's all mocked up. This was a total struggle fest. Like I said, I did a couple self tappers. I got this really pretty good here. The wheel arch, I have it pushed up real high. I still got a little gap here that I got to get up a little bit. It's tight over there. Over here, it just doesn't really fit properly. I still got to cut a little more back here, push that in. And I think what I'm going to have to do is I think I'm going to have to add something on the bottom. It's got this bend that goes underneath. I think I'm going to have to straighten that out and then extend that. It's just very, very, very poor quality. Like I said, I'm going to have to try to get it up a little higher or fill that. What I did was I put it on here, self-tap screwed it, and then ran my cut wheel across it. So really, at the maximum, it should be, you know, less than an 1/8 inch. I mean, the blades are only, you know, that thick. So they're not even an 1/8 inch. They're probably 3/32 or something. But don't know what, we're going to start tacking it. We're going to do the ends, maybe in the door area, and then try to finagle this. I might have to add a little something in the middle. I mean, if I do, I do. I mean, it's just, I'm not really sure why it's not coming up. But like I said, though, very, very poor quality. It's just real struggle fest. But we got it around the door here pretty good, but a lot of finagling, that's for sure. And I have this block under here to keep it, and it's actually lifting the body up. So can't put any more stress on that, but we'll get things tacked and then we'll go from there. Like I said, I was very concerned about here and here because I have to go by something. Back here I can kind of fudge this body line a little bit. It doesn't have to be 100% exact. So we'll see what happens. I did notice on my last 442, the green one, had a really, really nice paint job on it. But the 1/4 panel, they skinned over it, and what they did was they just cut everything off with an air hammer, literally. And it was so nasty on the inside of the trunk area. And so I had cleaned that all up, but I had noticed when the bumper went on, this area shapes the bumper, and it was like 1 inch off from one side from the other, and you couldn't raise the bumper up anymore because it would hit the, you know, you got to go by the trunk because your level mark for your bumper. So everything has to be level with you. Whatever your trunk is, that's what your bumper has to be. And it was like an inch and a quarter off on the one side. It was amazing. And I think when he had that done, they were factory quarters. It was just, I guess, the way they installed them. So, you know, it's one of those things, you can't rush this stuff. It takes a lot of time. So, all right, well, we will pick you up once we get it tacked on, And I use these. I forget what they're called. Had these many years though. They go in between the metal. They leave a 30-second of a gap, so you can weld right up to them and then take them off, and they keep, you know, everything, you know, level and square and on the same plane. So kind of neat. But all right, we'll pick you up when it's welded in. All right, this quarter panel is on. Got a little bit more grinding to do, a little bit of filling down here, there. Spent more time probably trying to get this old black EPMD paint off of there. That was a pain. But we got it ground down. Like I said, you don't want to grind your weld away. People don't realize that. You don't want it. If you grind your weld away, then there's really nothing helping. Even though it's burnt in, you still, well, that's a little high there. I still got to grind that. I got a couple spots that still need to be ground and tacked, retacked. It is bent in, which it's supposed to be, so the filler will cover, so there's no high spots. But I got to get behind it still and do a little bit of work and bend and pry, and then I got to try to get inside and clean that up. I like to do the inside too, but it fits horrible. I mean, it's a 100% better than what it was, but it was friggin' nightmare, twisting and bending, and I had to jack the body up. The body was coming off the blocks because I was trying to get the thing up high enough here, but it's not pretty yet. We'll probably, well, I know we're gonna have to end up skim coating this whole quarter panel because even the bottom's got some waves in it. But all in all, if I was to tell anybody to do it, I would say just buy a complete new quarter. If you could get, they don't sell full ones anymore to go all the way up here, but I think you can get them seamed here. This upper part is okay, but the part that I cut off there wasn't the greatest. So, but it is on. It's not going anywhere, that's for sure. We got a lot of good burnt in welds. Got to do a little more grinding, and then start laying body filler and block, because this one's going to take some time, that's for sure. But all right, well, so we'll pick you back up once we probably get some body filler on it, which is definitely not going to be today, that's for sure. And I do have help. You helping? Well, quick update on the quarter panel. I got 2 coats of filler on it. Still got a good amount of work to do, but we got the seam pretty much filled. Like I said, I still have to do this, still have to do this. I'm probably going to end up skim coating the whole quarter because it's got, when I run my hand over it, I can feel just a lot. And like I said before, you don't go by what you see, it's what you feel. So all in all, it's pretty good. It feels pretty good for only being 2 coats. And the inside's pretty much done. I hit it with 100 and 180, and I'm going to hit it with a little bit of 220 just to smooth it up a little bit more, and then put some paint on it like the other side. So when you open the trunk or take something apart, you don't go, ooh, wow, this guy can't weld. So it's pretty good though. Up above the wheel well, it's still a little rough. I got a little bit of sanding to do. It's hard. That's why I taped all this off, because I was just cutting the heck out of myself on my arms. But all right, well, we'll pick you up and show you more progress when we get done.